Welcome back to the Paris newsroom here at France 24. You are watching live from Paris, and it's time for Media Watch with James Creedon.
Good evening, Laura.
Hello, James. Good to see you again.
Likewise.
Now, we've been talking about the United Nations General Assembly now in
Yes.
its third day, continuing over in New York, and there have been some difficult encounters. I'm not talking about the Israeli Prime Minister and the Palestinian leader. I'm talking more about the French President and his ex-girlfriend.
That's right. Let's take a quick look at Le Monde, right? The surreal meeting between Royal, that's Ségolène Royal, and François Hollande at the UN. Now, in their first sentence, they said, at the United Nations, the risk of a diplomatic incident is never far off, but sometimes it's not exactly where you expect it to be. Let's roll the pictures, because what happened was Ségolène Royal was at the UN.
There?
She was there in her capacity as deputy leader of the International Socialist Association. And there you see Francois, he's hiding because he saw her and he didn't know. See him? He has his back to the camera there. And she's giving a little press conference, which he wasn't expecting. No one at the Élysée Palace knew about this. And some were speculating, did she sort of, what would you say, ambush him? So he is actually consulting with his people as to what to do, right?
She's trying to get his
She's
attention,
then wondering,
isn't
will she go and talk to him? And the whole thing is really quite peculiar. And as you can see here, it was very quickly satirised by Les Guignol. Valerie's there in satirical form, at least. During that actual moment, she was visiting a museum elsewhere in New York with Ban Ki-moon's wife. And given how she reacted, over that tweet, etc., when Ségolène Royal was running for MP in the La Rochelle region,
still running high in that
what would have
threesome, aren't
happened if there had actually been an encounter? Maybe Valerie would have gone nuclear, right?
They'd have to create a whole new General Assembly just to deal with the conflict, wouldn't they?
This is it. Will I just show you a couple of reactions online? Because the Voici, which is a bit of a rag, I suppose we can say that, can we? Le président zappe son ex. The president is ignoring his ex, right? Blanked his ex, that's it. And others are saying, this surreal encounter is pathetic. François Hollande, is he this afraid of Valérie Trierweiler's jealousy? So a lot of people linking it to the tweet and to the ongoing drama in his private life. And maybe he thought, look, just better avoid her because it's going to be trouble.
Goodness me, you feel for the children in this, don't you, really?
You would, really.
All right, let's move on because, dearie me, I can imagine some special advisors and some press officers were getting a bit of a telling off last night because the Prime Minister David Cameron looked a little tiny bit foolish on American television.
I'm actually embarrassed for all of Britain this evening.
I was a little bit embarrassed. Thank you, James.
You have my full sympathy, Laura. Let's take a look at this headline. Not exactly ruling Britannia. David Cameron fails British history test on David Letterman's show. He was asked a couple of questions by rather sneaky David Letterman about aspects of British history, including who penned Rule Britannia and what does Magna Carta mean. Let's take a look at how he got on.
Rural Britannia. Britain rules the world. Who wrote that? Do you know?
God, you're testing me there. Elgar, I'll go for.
And the literal translation was what? You have Magna...
Again, you're testing me.
Boy, it'd be good if you knew this.
Yeah, well, it would be.
Magna Carta literally means Great Charter, the Great Charter, and as we pointed out, the seeds of democracy. Rural Britannia, which is a beautiful refrain, based on a poem by James Thomson. Are you familiar with James Thomson?
Well, I am now.
I am at the end.
Oh dear, I bet he didn't know it was signed in Runnymede either.
Oh, well, he actually, the thing is, I think the media has been a little bit unfair on him because if you look at the whole video, he did know a lot of details about Magna Carta. He knew when it was signed or issued, and he did actually know about Runnymede. So, well, I don't know what you do. Do you sign? You probably did sign it. In any case, The Independent says, look, this shows that the Prime Minister, he should never have been put on the David Letterman show. You see,
I know, why on earth did he choose to go on it?
Well, I suppose you have Obama doing this as well recently as well, don't you? And you had even Sarkozy went on the Petit Journal. So they're all trying to do this, aren't they? They're trying to be kind of the chatty guy. And actually, look, come
and join us on Media Watch.
We'll annihilate you, Dave. Then on the Telegraph, they're kind of defending him, right? They're saying, but there's some speculation that the Prime Minister was playing dumb deliberately to flatter his host. That's the point of view of Robert Colville.
Nice try.
Nice try,
Rob.
Fail.
Excellent.
So others are pointing out here that he would have failed. Actually, if this was a citizenship exam,
yes, this is the embarrassing point, isn't it?
Yeah, he might have actually failed it.
Because the British government want immigrants to take
test.
citizenship tests, and the Magna Carta question would probably be in
That's
there. So David
right,
Cameron would
David.
be evicted from his own land.
Brush up on your history.
Oh dear. Now, he hasn't been doing so well, but what about Bill Clinton, the former US president,
All right, well,
who made
Bill-
a return to the world stage at the
That's right.
Democratic Convention earlier this year, didn't he?
This is it. And now maybe he'd need to brush up on his history as well, or on his politics, etc. He thinks he could be the president of France, or indeed the president of Ireland. Now, this was at an interview he gave to CNN.
They'd love that in Ireland, wouldn't they?
Of course they would. They'd be delighted. France would as well, probably. Let's roll the pictures. He was speaking on CNN, and he basically said that yes, he would love to be president of either country. And he went down through the rules, right, saying that you know, because of the Louisiana Purchase, of which Arkansas was a part, there are these kind of archaic laws which would allow him to be a French citizen, essentially, and run for the presidency. Equally in Ireland, because he has Irish ancestry, he could claim this. But actually, foreign policy and several other media have looked at the fine print in those rule books and discovered that, in fact, he couldn't be the president of either country. So, you know, he can't be the president of the US anymore. But that's it. And, you know, they were kind of saying, could we see him running for the 2017 election in France?
Do you think he's getting a little bit bored, Bill Clinton?
He might be a bit bored,
Twiddling his thumbs a bit.
Another guy who's getting a bit bored, just we'll finish with this.
Oh, yes.
Le Point.
Oh, we haven't seen him for a while.
There you go.
Where's he been?
This is the front page of Le Point.
He's
and
looking
it's
rather rugged there, isn't he?
Coucou, me revoilà. Look at me,
revoilà.
I'm back. And what they're talking about is the fact that there's
With
a lot
stubble.
of talk of Sarkozy and whether he could actually run again in 2017. And, you know, he was booted out, but maybe the French people would appreciate a comeback
Maybe
at some
they'd
point.
like him to come back. Maybe they're feeling a bit nostalgic.
It could be Sarko versus Clinton in 2017.
That would be fun. All right, James Greedon with Media Watch. Thank you very
Thanks,
much
Laura.
indeed. All right, we're going to leave you now with more interesting things on the internet. It's web news.